And welcome back to the Highly Original Podcast. I'm Joe Martino.
Michael Ioneri.
And we're back with episode, help me out, 17?
17.
Okay, all right, I got
17
it right. Okay.
on the Highly Original Podcast.
Yeah, so we're keeping them out. I mean, I think we might have almost 20 by the end of this year.
Wow. Well, that means what, 17 weeks now? Consistently we've been putting out content.
Yes, yeah.
That's good. It's good.
Yeah, so however many weeks are left in the year is how many episodes we'll have. But yeah, I guess we'll do some updates on the podcast, what's going on today. Our merch is coming along. We are starting production. I know some of you guys have been asking about it. I've shown a little sneak peeks on the Instagram. But yeah, it's coming along, so beanies and shirts. But, get ready for when it drops because we are in limited supply, guys. So, it's our first merch run. So, you're going to have to get it first come, first serve kind of thing.
Right.
So,
it's all going to be one of a kind because, it's all the first batch of merch from the Highly Original Podcast.
Mike, it's highly original.
Highly original.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's that. I think that's what's going on there.
And it'll be exclusively sold on our website, thehighlyoriginalpodcast.com.
Yes, which should be... Is it up and running?
It will be up within the next 2 days.
Okay, so it's by the time this comes out.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
By the time... Yeah, it'll be up and running. It's up and running, yeah.
So, yeah, one thing I wanted to address before we go into our main topic today is the audio issue last time. I want to apologize for that. Our microphones... But we made some adjustments, so we're hoping to avoid
everything's looking good.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, that was on my part. This is the equipment I set up, and there was a little bug in the software, a little bug in the electric wires. Well, all wires are electric, Joe.
There you go. Yeah.
My apologies.
No, man. It's just addressing it.
No, I insist.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to keep going with our new format. So I'm hoping that you guys like it because we're enjoying it.
For sure.
So with that, our main topic today is Drake and Josh. So that is right, guys. Drake and Josh, the 2000s sitcom classic from Nickelodeon. So I'll give you guys the synopsis. Drake and Josh was created by Dan Schneider for Nickelodeon, and it revolved around two stepbrothers, Drake and Josh, played by Drake Bell and Josh Peck, respectively, obviously. And they live in San Diego, and they're kind of two different personalities.
Right.
Like,
opposites attract.
Yeah. Like, Drake is the cool guy, musician, and Josh is like his, like, straight A, dorky, stepbrother, and they, I think in the beginning the marriage happens of their parents, so they're like, I guess freshmen in high school when they get married.
So. They were young, yeah,
because they're in high school through the duration of the series, but yeah, so it's not like they've been growing up together. It's sort of they're combining, in like kind of like, the middle of their like teenage years. And Drake has a sister who becomes Josh's stepsister, Megan, played by Miranda Cosgrove, and their parents are played by Nancy Sullivan and Jonathan Goldstein. And yeah, so Audrey is the mom and Walter is the dad. So basically, that's sort of the synopsis and kind of misadventures of a sitcom. But yeah, so that's the basic rundown. So, Mike, to dive into this discussion, I think we couldn't talk about it without first addressing, the Dan Schneider,
scandals, accusations.
And even Drake Bell's. So, for those of you guys who don't know, Dan Schneider created the series, and Dan Schneider was like the king of Nickelodeon in like the 2000s, and Even
Right.
like the early 2010s. He produced or he created shows like Zoe 101, Victorious, iCarly,
Sam
Drake
and
and
Cat,
Josh.
all those
Yeah, like
shows.
pretty much
Yeah.
everything was Dan
Schneider
Schneider,
Rap production.
and like all the animation was like Butch Hartman. It was
Right.
like these two guys were like running Nickelodeon.
Right.
So in recent years, Dan Schneider has sort of been accused by former cast and crew that he was sort of like kind of like a dictator on these projects, and he would often kind of insist on sort of like sexualized jokes to be put in these sitcoms that surrounded teenage actors and
and we're going to be aired and viewed by kids.
Yeah. And it sort of kind of comes down to like we see the jokes that were on. It kind of is like
it's kind of
that was weird,
distasteful, for a children's show,
Yeah, so that's kind of come out, and
but growing up watching, you don't think these things, right? I mean, you just
No.
watch it and you just like, this is supposed to happen.
yeah, like it was just like, oh, that's quirky.
Yeah,
right. You don't
right.
really think about.
But then
Stuff like that.
This is like unraveled, this whole situation going on under the surface that nobody knows about, and it's kind of disturbing to think like how many people had bad interactions with him that are afraid to speak up.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like I think in our research, like, it doesn't seem like it's mostly been accusations of just like being very insistent on having like these kind of inappropriate things.
Well, I was reading that
and...
that in the writing rooms a lot. They would insist on getting massages. The writers.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something that
from
happened.
like who?
I don't know.
Oh.
I obviously not from like Drake and Josh, but
Okay.
from.
I
don't know.
From actors on the show?
I doubt that. I
Okay.
doubt that. But it just said.
Just like weird stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
like really
kinda...
weird, like things that like you said, almost like a dictator would do,
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, and Drake Bell was also accused and I think found guilty of like there was like an underage girl that like he kind of arranged to meet, I think to have sex with. But he claims that he didn't know her age, but he was sentenced to like community service, and there's a restraining order. So he was found guilty of something there. But yeah. So it's like these are. That's kind of like the first thing I wanted to talk to you, Mike. It's kind of like, can we still? This is a philosophical question. Like, can we like separate the art from the artist? Like, can we still like enjoy these childhood shows, or is it like the shadow of like
I was trying
stuff
to
hanging over?
Right, I was trying to think of a way to put it, but you just said it best. Like, can we separate the art from the artist, from the act? You know what I mean? Like, I think it depends who you are. You know what I mean? Personally, me watching, now, I still have my memories as a child, and all these nostalgic feelings come up of where I was, how old I was when I would watch these episodes, and I can't lie to you. At first sight, I don't see, Drake Bell, this, I don't know, whatever you want to, I don't want to say pedophile, but, I mean, what is that, You don't think that.
Yeah, I mean,
But you have to really kind of, tell yourself, like, wait a minute, this guy did something really bad, and then it's hard, I feel like. For me, personally, I can't separate the two. I just feel like, I could watch, I could laugh for sure. I could definitely rewatch every Drake and Josh episode, have a great time watching it. But in the back of my mind, I'll still say, man, like.
Well, what about with the
what'd you
Dan
do,
Schneider
Drake?
stuff?
The Dan Schneider stuff. It's weird because I feel like everything is Dan Schneider.
Yeah,
you know what
everything
I mean?
from that era, if it was live action, it was Dan Schneider.
All that, you know what I mean? Like all the
he
Amanda show.
He goes back to all that.
I'm almost positive. Yeah,
wow.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone listening could correct me on that.
I mean, I do know definitely like 2000s, 2010. He was the king.
It'd be hard. It'd be hard to really kind of, not be able to separate. Can I enjoy this, or can I not enjoy this because I have such judgment for the person behind this? It's really hard, and I feel like a lot of people will be able to enjoy it. I can enjoy it still, but like I said, in the back of my mind, those things are there. Even with the Dan Schneider things, I'll see something that's kind of I wouldn't say explicit, but really edgy and like kind of grimy for a kid show. And I'm just like, man, like this guy really wrote that. Like that's something that he wanted.
Yeah, because that's like what they say. He was very insistent on these things.
Right. So when I see, when I see clips and stuff like that, you know, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I can't lie, but
no, yeah, I mean,
it's just I don't know, man. How about you? Like, where do you fall?
For me, I guess I'm kind of like, I think about how many people were involved with the making of those shows. I feel like I'm able to still go back and enjoy them because it's like, it's not like it's just him that painted.
Right, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you got to think, like, there were different directors different producers, different writers, all these actors that were part, you know.
But when you see these things, they still kind of, in, like, the back of your mind, you go, oof, like, that's not good. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I guess when I see, like, the weird stuff, but I feel like with Drake and Josh, there wasn't as much,
like... Right, with Drake and Josh, it was pretty... Drake and Josh, and I feel like also Drake and Josh was kind of aimed more towards like a teenage, like a more edgy demographic as opposed to... I mean,
like, they like made out with girls. Yeah. Like, pretty, like, made out.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know.
And, you know, a lot of the, you know, like, Megan would always call her brothers boobs. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of little, like, you know, but like more so adult humor that you wouldn't catch on SpongeBob. You know what I mean?
But, like, you know, with, like, Dan Schneider's, like, with, like, I don't know, the other stuff, I think, like, there's a lot of times with, like, the female teenage actresses that he would have, like, oh, like, they're gonna be, like, dressed like this. They're gonna be, like, do something weird, like...
Right, like, just really...
Yeah, like... I feel like with Drake and Josh, there wasn't so much of that.
And yeah, with Drake and Josh, I guess you just kind of have to more so be like, man, Drake messed up. Yeah. You don't really think of Dan Schneider too much.
But I just think collectively, like, so I'm able to overlook it.
You're able to overlook it?
Not,
I am too.
Right, well, let me wait, hold on. Not overlook it.
Yeah, but
you're able to still enjoy.
You're able to watch the content and not say, all right, this is for sure. I am too to an extent, but like I said, in the back of my mind, little things always there.
Yeah, but so I just wanted to like get that part out because I feel like unfortunately with these shows, like I feel like it is something that you got to talk about.
It'd be be unjust to not talk about it.
But kind of move. I want to end the conversation about Drake and Josh.
There's so many other people involved, so many great talents, you know. So
let's real quick go through our favorite character and our favorite side character.
Okay.
So I know who your favorite side character is gonna be. I want to know who's your favorite character.
So my favorite character is definitely Walter.
Okay.
Walter Nichols. I think that
That's the dad.
Yes, the dad. Josh's dad, Drake and Megan's stepdad. That I don't think they ever officially called dad. You know? Or is it, they always just say Walter.
I mean, I think there's that one scene where Megan calls him Walter to his face, and as she walks away, he says to his wife, he's like, "What? When did she start calling me Walter?"
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like they must have been calling him something else.
I just don't remember. He was just always, to me, like, just that funny... He was like the Mr. Turner of live action dads, I think, in a way that,
but not as sinister.
Not as sinister, or not as sinister at all. He's just like a really funny character.
I feel like he was a good guy. He was
a wholesome guy. He was a great dad. He man, he definitely
was a weatherman, right?
He was a weatherman, you know. He had Josh come on for the junior weatherman program.
They had a nice house.
They did have a great house. Yeah,
that's weatherman money.
That's the perks of TV, man. Now he's definitely my favorite. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. I have to say, everything about him, like and just like all his comedic delivers, like every one of his lines. Like remember when he was allergic to cumin or something like that, and
weird,
he sold this scene of like him sporadically like convulsing and like having. And I was just like, man, he's a good actor.
Hell yeah, he was. I think he was on the Amanda Bynes show too before that with.
Jonathan Goldstein.
Yeah, like I think, and the actress played the mom. Like the two of them were like, anytime you get like adult characters on the Amanda Bynes show, like for their sketches, I think they would be in it.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, I definitely remember the mom.
Yeah,
being on the Amanda show.
And Drake and Josh were on the Amanda show too.
Yeah, man. They were always.
I love this sketch that they did real quick, like the Al Dente brothers.
Yeah,
it was like these like middle schoolers, and they were like mobsters, and like. you know, they were all like acting like mobsters, but in middle school.
Right.
And then it would always like, no, they weren't the Al Dente brothers. That was their enemy.
That was their enemy, yeah.
And like, you know,
Tony
one of them
Pajamas
would go to the window. Yeah, I think it was Tony Pajamas. And then he would be like, it's the Al Dente brothers. And then he like looks at it again. He's like, they've got like whatever like food item, and it would be like a drive-by, and all this like hamburgers or donuts would just come in. They like
just like in slow motion, like kind of like a scene from like Casino.
Yeah, it was just like ridiculous. But I guess my favorite character to get us back on track would be I'm gonna go with Josh. I thought Josh, and I really like Josh Peck. Like in recent years, like, you know, he's done a lot of interviews, and I think he has a podcast, and like he was doing a lot of like internet influencing kind of stuff. And I've just like really like heard a lot of interviews with him. He's a good guy. I always liked the character,
right?
Too, you know, he was just funny, like
how he would just overemphasize.
Yeah,
everything.
He was just like weird, but he was like loving, you know. Yeah, he would always overemphasize stuff, and I was just like felt like people would like kind of like go at him for no reason.
Right.
Like, you know, he would always be like, he's just like nice, and people would just be like mean to him for like no reason. Like, do you remember the one where like he gets like the like a package delivered by like a postman or like a UPS driver, and he's like, you know, package for Josh Nichols. He's like, oh yeah, I'll sign. And then Josh is just like, have a nice day, and the guy just looks at him and goes, don't tell me what to do. Yeah, and just like walks away. Like, hey, and then his face is just like shot. Like he just like sinks.
Yeah, everybody was kind of mean.
Yeah, he's just like going through the world happy, and people just like
overly happy.
Yeah, just like, no, I think he was just a positive guy.
For sure.
He didn't deserve that.
No, he did not deserve that at all.
But
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Josh. Yeah, Josh was always
Josh
like,
is your
favorite.
He's on the David Dobrik show a lot.
Yeah, I think yeah, he was doing like David Dobrik stuff. I don't know if I think he's kind of moved on to his own projects, but I do know he was like, they were working together for a little bit.
Yeah, no, he's hilarious, and he's a great person, great actor.
Yeah, he's
like
the nicest guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
really is.
So then let's move on to like our favorite side characters.
You want to go first on this? I will. Want me to go?
I will. I mean, it was a hard one,
right?
Because there's so many good side characters. You got
too many.
Like Craig and Eric, like the two nerds that like were like
Craig and Eric.
It was kind of like the nerdy version of Drake and Josh, or so I don't know, like. And
Mindy Crenshaw.
Yeah, she was good, but Helen, Josh's boss in the movie.
She was great.
The guy with the mullet guy. You remember that guy? He just like he was always just coming out like telling Josh like something disgusting happened in the bathroom.
Yeah,
like, you know, like, like he's like, Helen wants you to clean it, and then like the next like when the scene would end, he would come out with whatever it was. He'd be like, I got it. Like,
yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Crazy Steve.
Crazy Steve,
who was Josh's co-worker at the movie theater, and he was portrayed by Jerry Trainer, which you guys might know as Spencer from iCarly. But before he was Spencer, he was Crazy Steve. And Crazy Steve is just like this like erratic guy who just works with Josh, and like just he'll be all like nice, he just has like mood swings, like yells at Josh. Like there's like one where you know, I think Josh's pen pal from like some fictional like Slavic country in like the Balkans comes and visits, and like Josh gets like Crazy Steve like tracked down like this like the only movie that's ever been produced in that country to watch it. And then the girl doesn't want to watch it because like she's seen it like many times, and he's like tells Crazy Steve like, we're not gonna like watch it. And they, like Crazy Steve had like a special screening. He's like, oh well, Josh, I mean, it took me a long time. You know how many people I had to call? And he's like, so somebody better be watching Eglakma, or else like he like you know he like gets like he's crazy.
Crazy Steve, yeah.
So yeah, it's just like so many great characters that they had. I guess really quick, I just want to get like to two more bits, or not bits, two more segments.
I'm
gonna be talking about my favorite. That's the next thing. What was your favorite bit on Drake and Josh?
Right.
So yeah, and Yes. Who's your favorite side character? I think yeah.
My favorite side character is for sure, without a doubt, and you may not know this, Helen.
No, she was fantastic.
She was, I think, one of the funniest actresses, one of the funniest characters.
She went on to
on the show
to be on the show Community. Are you familiar with that show?
I'm not
I mentioned
familiar.
it before.
Do we know the actress?
Her name is Yvette Nicole Brown. She was on Community later.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she was actually in The Office. She had like
she was in The Office.
I feel like she was really funny.
I feel like she was in a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, I think she did a lot of like character actress work, and then like Drake and Josh and the Community she started to work.
I just loved her
regularly.
Yeah, I just loved her presence in the show. She was so like dominant, like
yeah.
like
She
Josh
was like a short little woman, but she was like
she
so
packed
aggressive.
the punch, bro. Yeah, she really did, man.
And she I like that she adored Drake.
I loved him.
But was
Loved
so
him
mean to
so
Josh.
much.
And like Drake didn't even work there.
I know.
Like, but she was just always like, "Hi, Drake." Like
Yeah,
she like loved him, but would just be so mean to Josh. I mean, one of my favorite things with her is when Drake and Josh, like I forget how, but MTV's Spring Break is like being filmed at their house. All these college kids are partying in their house. Like they brought like sand in to simulate a beach.
A beach, yeah.
And
kids walking with like coolers.
And like they call in Helen to like get everybody out because she's like she's no nonsense. Yeah. And she gets there, and like the host of the MTV Spring Break, like has her on camera, and she immediately like becomes like obsessed with being on camera. And like before you know it, she's like singing like "I'm so excited."
Yeah, she's
and I
like
just can't hide it. Like she's like singing.
I never forget her face.
And then
when
like
she came to the realization.
Drake and Josh's parents are on their like anniversary weekend, and they're watching TV, like, and they're watching Helen singing this song in their living room. But yeah, I mean
Nah, she was dude. She was fantastic, hilarious. So always added what was needed to that moment in the show. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many parts without her.
Yeah,
she would have been funny.
But I guess so. Real quick before we like sum up Drake and Josh, I want to. What's your favorite bit that they did? My
favorite bit is when
there's so many.
Yeah, when they broke that kid's treehouse down, and like they were morally right, and they rebuilt it. They built themselves into
like,
it.
My treehouse. Like, just like crying,
and like he's like
they blow it up with like a firework.
It was like a rocket or a fire. It was like something crazy, man. But they rebuild this kid's treehouse for him, and they both come to the realization like, wait, like the marking for the doors on the inside of this treehouse. Like how do we get out? And I remember they wanted snow cones from Megan. Like they wanted they wanted to get out.
Yeah. But they gotta get like power tool or something.
Yeah. Like, can you hand me the saw or something like that? And she was like, I'm going to get snow cones. And then Drake was like, can you get me some snow cones? And he was like, what?
No, but like the part where like, Drake only drew the outline of the door,
but didn't
bring the saw, didn't cut it, and he's like, well, how are we like? Josh's like, how are we gonna like get out? He's like, I'll just cut the thing, like I'll just cut the door out, and he's like, all right, go get the saw. Like Drake just walks into the wall, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I see what the problem is."
And they stayed in there all night. I was positive, yeah, man.
No, that was a good one. I think one of my favorite ones, and it is like hard because there were so many.
I know, dude. That's why
episodes because they were always getting into like antics and stuff. It's the one where Megan is like dating for the first time, and they want to like, check the guy out and see.
Good older brothers.
Like, yeah. So they follow her to the movies, and their disguises are like Hasidic Jewish, like,
Jewish guys, like
how Hasidic, those hats,
the brimmed hats,
like
the curls
black
going down their
suits,
hair,
and like they got the real long beards. So they're like dressed up like that, but they choose to like speak with Irish accents.
Right, that was like brogue,
and they're saying all these like weird things, and like they're like standing behind them in the movie theater, and one of my I think Megan and her boyfriend are about to kiss, and they try to like interrupt it, and they dive into like their popcorn, like the popcorn that Megan and her boyfriend, and they're like, "Give us your corn, laddie!" Like that's like one of my favorite lines. But yeah, it was just it was just a great. We could talk all.
We could talk all night about our favorite Drake and Josh bits for sure.
But I guess, Mike, just to kind of sum it up, I just want to talk about like the impact of Drake and Josh. I feel like it was such a great show. I think it was one of the best shows. I think it stayed good through its whole run. Didn't have a decrease of quality.
No, not at all. Only an increase.
Four seasons too.
And a movie.
4 seasons and a movie. I think it's a television movie and a Christmas movie.
Christmas movie, yeah. Right.
But yeah, I contend one of my favorite like sitcoms from like childhood.
I agree with you. That and like Ned's Declassified. Like, those two were like, man. But Drake and Josh.
But that's for another episode.
Ooh, little.
We should do that one too.
Sneak peek.
Yeah.
Nah, Drake and Josh is. I think that's a timeless classic. I think any kids can, going forward, could watch that show and be like, man, I got into antics like that with my siblings or friends or whatever,
No, yeah, I mean, definitely. So that was our, yeah. So I love the show. Fantastic series.
Yeah, and just to kind of, we said in the beginning, but we can't take away, anything from that show.
Brought me a lot of enjoyment.
A lot of enjoyment, and everybody involved, a lot of people involved are very talented individuals, and really just a great show. Definitely recommend it if you didn't see Drake and Josh.
Want to go back and watch Drake and Josh? You can. I think it's available for streaming on stuff. Yeah,
probably Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
little plug. Nah,
but sticking with our new format. I said I wasn't gonna talk
mention it again,
but I did.
It's good.
I wanted to go, for a little fun topic to top the episode off.
Okay.
I want to talk about like animal stories.
Animal stories.
Now, I have a really good one.
Okay.
And this is like stories where like animals went awry. Like something got in your house it wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I gotta go.
So, this was a couple years back. For me, it was when I was still in college. Cause like during college, I like lived at school, and then like I came home from school for a little bit. So this was like during one of the, like, I think when I was living at home still, during college, and I was in my room at night, and I noticed like the light keeps like getting blocked off.
Okay.
Like a fluttering, hint.
I think I know this story.
And I like look up and I just see a bat just flying around my ceiling, and I just kind of slide off my bed, get up, and like close the door. And I I tell my parents or I tell my dad or something. I'm like, there's a bat in my room. And so I'm just like, I don't really feel like dealing with this. I'm going downstairs. I'm gonna sleep on the couch tonight. And then like about an hour later, I hear some like commotion from upstairs. And I actually filmed this on my Snapchat.
Yeah, you did.
So there's like, I'm going upstairs and I'm hearing like from my bedroom, my dad going like, whoa, whoa, like making all these like over the top like cartoon screams, like, wow, like and like my mom's peering out of like her bedroom, and she's like, your father's in there with a bat. He's going crazy, like. And I'm like, what's going on? And I like get up to the stairs, and like my dad's like in there, just like being scared. He's like, ah, whoa, whoa, like making these cartoon noises, and he's like, get me out, but like he went in there voluntarily to like I guess catch this thing,
right? Yeah,
And my mom is like over there like with her like her Philly accent like came fully out, and for some reason she felt like I feel like she was trying to just demonstrate her knowledge of bats. Like she's like stop yelling, it has sonar. Like with that accent, sonar. Like it's just like it's the most insane thing.
Did your dad get it out?
No, right? He like opened the window and it like went
voluntarily
out
left.
Yeah. But like it's just like the weirdest thing. I gotta find the video.
Dude, the snap is great.
Yeah, like
it's like everything you said word for word is on video.
Yeah, like
You think that'd be something we could post on the Instagram one day?
I'm like thinking if I can find it. Yeah. If I can find it, I'll do
that'd
it.
be awesome. That'd be awesome for the listeners to watch that. Because that was hilarious.
No, definitely. So that's my little animal story.
So here's mine, and it's gonna be a little weird at first. It's gonna be kind of throw you off a little bit, but somewhere in South Jersey, near Riverside, New Jersey, there was an ostrich farm, and this is a true story. And I don't remember exactly where it was, but I remember playing like baseball for school and seeing
this is not a cow story.
This is not a cow story.
Throwing
no.
back to your fear of cows.
Not a cow story. I kind of wish it was. So, I'm about 5 years old, and my mother's working, and I'm at home with my grandmother. And I'm on the front porch. And our front porch was enclosed with these window panes. So even our front porch was enclosed. So it wasn't like an open front porch.
Yeah,
I
know. Those are cool. I like
so
those.
you could see right through the whole front porch, but it's enclosed by a window and like a glass
It's like a
screen door.
sunroom.
Exactly. Best way to put it. So I'm there. I'm playing. My grandmom's got the front door of the house open. She's inside. Dude, I swear to God, an ostrich came barreling down my street, pecking at my window. And I'm this kid, dude. I was terrified.
Wait, how old were you?
I had to be 5. Like, I had to be 5. Just going off, like, my recollection of the story.
Yeah, it's like, and then you tell him who's going to believe you. Like,
I really never told the story to too many people. So, I run inside. My grandmom's like, what? And she goes outside, and this ostrich is pecking at the...
So an adult did see
Yeah,
that.
no, it's pecking at the window panes. And she's like, holy shit, slams the door. Dude, we both go inside. And I don't know who she called, if it was animal control, if it was the police.
Who do you call?
I don't think she straight up said ostrich. I just think she said, there's a really big bird terrorizing my grandson.
She should have said ostrich. Really big bird, like what? Like what?
Like
what are they gonna
yeah,
come out and shoot
dude,
off?
it was it was not, it was an ostrich. Like, it was a big 2-legged bird, my man. And it was freaky. Like, it had these big 2 legs, man. It was freaky.
Oh, yeah, no.
And it was, I'll never forget that vision of its beak. Like, I don't even know what it was thinking. It was just mindlessly pecking at the window. All I could think of as a kid, it was like, that's trying to get in here. Like, that was a dude in my head. Like, I gotta go. Just the fact that my grandma was such a tough lady. And she's like, what is it? Oh my God, close the door. Boom. She was not having that either.
Well, I just like the idea that this thing was like running full speed. And then just starts like pecking them like
out in my window.
It like came from the farm.
And dude,
to your house.
And I remember peeking out of my blinds and seeing it doing laps in my front yard. I will never forget that for as long as I live. So, I don't remember them taking it away or anything.
I was gonna say like,
but that I remember, and I wish my grandmother was here to clarify
Riverside
that story.
Police, like SWAT team.
I don't know if it was animal control or police or what, but that is something that I will never forget. I'm gonna tell my kids that story, and I really kind of hope it happens again one day.
It's like Chris Christie came and like tackled him.
Yes. It's like, yeah. Like, I honestly, like, now as a grown man, would love for that to happen. Because I wouldn't be scared. I'd welcome the ostrich in with open arms.
No, yeah.
It'd be like the emu from all those commercials.
We had blue, or no, that's something different. Yeah, emu.
That'd be like my sidekick.
A little trivia for you. My dad also hates those commercials. In addition to Gus, the second most famous groundhog.
Yeah. Second most famous groundhog, right.
Which that commercial's making the rounds now. The one where he's giving out the...
An M&M's commercial from at least 2000.
The one with the
Santa, that's making the rounds.
It's been forever.
I love that one, man. I saw that and it gave me chills. I said, wow.
My mom always got bothered by that one.
Really?
She was like
when Santa faints?
No. Like, one time she said to me, like, this is like, I don't know, like 5 years back or something. She was like, yeah, I don't like that one. Well, I don't understand why the red one's so mean. Like, cause like, the yellow one's like, do you think Santa will bring something? And like the red one's like, I don't know. Why don't you ask him? Like, he's like really like hostile.
Yeah, he was always like the more mature one, I guess.
But they rebranded all of them, remember?
Yeah, they did.
Like, earlier this year.
They did, yeah.
Like, I think they made the red ones like not as mean anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
the green one, she's like a...
Yeah,
like a really like...
Like, she's not mean either, because I think she was kind of mean. And like
stuck up M&M's.
There was all that controversy, like, that like like she was like they were desexualizing it. Like,
Yeah,
this is a weird. That was a weird news headline when I saw
right.
Like
Some headlines
Mars
are...
Candy announces desexualization of the green M&M, and I was like,
no,
I was like,
what?
Why?
This is a problem.
This is this is a thing.
We're
Like
starving kids right now, and this is what we're worried about. That's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I mean, I get that's a good thing, I guess. Yeah.
I don't even know what it means, but I
like,
guess it
it's
is.
like,
Yeah,
all right,
it's good.
I guess it's good, right?
Nah, man, but it's good to see those commercials making the
No,
rounds.
yeah,
Good.
and the Hershey Kiss one.
Oh,
where they're the bells.
Yeah, ding,
that one's been on
that's
forever.
Great. That's a great one.
That one's been on forever, man.
Yeah, no, there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah. So so that's like yeah. So those are two pretty good animal stories.
I think they really are over the top.
I didn't think you were gonna like beat me. I thought the bat story was pretty good, just because of my parents' response. But I don't think I can beat
an ostrich,
a crazy ostrich,
and I'm
running full speed at your house.
I wouldn't say it's an ostrich farm, but it was an ostrich sanctuary. Like it was legitimate. Like it was real. Like I promise you that. I will do research. I'll do research, screenshot it, and we're posting it on Instagram.
Believe you. Not too far from my house. Growing up, there was like a bison farm.
What?
Yeah.
Thank God an angry bison didn't storm your front lawn.
Yeah.
And start like banging at your porch.
That would have been less scary, I think, than an ostrich, man.
Dude, the ostrich was horrifying. Yeah. I thought it was coming to my house.
Because it's so out of place.
And you know what I think really drew it to my house was my dog.
Okay. No, yeah, I got you, man. Yeah. It didn't attack the dog, though, right?
No, the dog was inside. The dog was inside, not even on the porch.
But yeah, it sounds like, the way you talk, it sounds like that ostrich was on a mission. Yeah. But guys, really, real quick, I'm super excited to announce Mr. John is booked to appear on the Highly Original Podcast.
Fantastic, man. Mr. John is the man.
No, yeah, I mean, hands down, right? He's booked, guys. He'll be appearing in an episode in January.
Fantastic.
And real quick, guys, I do want to just disclose, Mr. John isn't just like a random neighbor from growing up.
Yeah, no, he's
Mr. John is actually he's a respected academic, and we're gonna have him on and we're gonna discuss a really interesting film. I'm gonna save that for when we get closer.
Exactly. Right.
But we're gonna have an actual good discussion with him. He does have expertise. It's not just like some
random guy. Yeah, no, Mr. John is
we're not taking the meme that far that it's just some random guy.
No, I'm really excited to have Mr. John.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good one.
Is he excited, do you know?
Yeah.
It's good to hear, man. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, I talked to him and
that's cool.
I was emailing him.
Yeah.
All
right, Mr. John. I'm excited, man. Can't wait to have you on.
Yeah. So with that, I don't think I have any more announcements. Mike, do you have anything to add?
Just, like we said earlier, get ready for the website. Get ready for the merch. Rep the Highly Original Podcast.
Merch is coming. And again, guys, we're going to have limited stock. This is our first time doing it. Right. So get it quick.
I guess you call that dead stock. So my brother calls all these fancy shoes that limited dead stock. Highly Original Podcast. The Highly Original Podcast. Dead stock items.
There will be more.
There will be a lot more.
We'll replenish, but this first round, we got to...
Yeah, it's going to be our logo in gold and a nice black, beanie and shirt. It's going to be.
Yeah, if you haven't already, check out our Instagram. We have a video posted where we show both the shirt and the hat. Right.
And real quick, when I mentioned we still are doing ad reads.
Yes,
I think we got great deals. I really do think that.
Yes. So, again, ad reads, if you or someone you know has a business or art, music that they want to get out there, please direct them to us, or if it's you, DM us on our Instagram, and we will set you up with highly original ad reads that will be performed by Mike and I. Or if you want to you want to record your own ad and do it?
You do it.
That's fine.
We'll air it.
Yeah. So, with
But
that guy.
we could sell it. We do a good job.
But we're willing to do the ad read ourselves.
We do a good job.
So with that, guys, take care, and we'll see you next time.
Stay safe and be careful from the monsters.
Dennis.